Hi, everyone. This is Kiersten Hall again with Fox Pointe Publishing, and we are on our second Fox Talk Facebook Live event for 2021. Thank you for joining us this evening, and we are going to jump right into it. First of all, I'm going to introduce everyone that we have online here with us this evening. We'll start right below me on my screen here is JoAn Stevenson. She is the author of Late Side of Midnight. See if you can see that okay. That just came out here a few weeks ago. It is selling like hotcakes. It's a fun story. It's beautifully illustrated. JoAn, do you want to say hi to everyone on Facebook?
Hi.
All right. One over from JoAn is Raven Eckman. She is a new author. Her book Shadow Speak comes out here at the end of February, so about less than a month. Oh my gosh. It's been this countdown for like the last 7-8 months. Anyway, she'll explain a little more about all that. She is not only a new author, but she is also our editor, one of our main editor who does the lion's share of work that we throw her way. Up from Ray, we have Helen Holder. She is the lady who put out 6 books in 2020, the Helen Holder collection. And actually, we are going to give away 3 of Helen's books this evening. One is Terrific Tongues. We have Glorious Gertie's Fabulous Fireworks, and we have Sleepover with Grandma. And I will explain a little further about that. Helen, do you want to say hi to everyone in YouTube Facebook world?
Facebook world and later YouTube.
Well, that's
hello, everybody. Hope you have lots of questions tonight.
That's true. And Ray, do you want to say hi to everyone?
Hi, everyone.
I'm getting carried away. My name is Kiersten Hall, and along with being a publicist and nuts and bolts and gopher person and pickle in the middle and everything else I do here, I'm also an author, and we're going to give away one of my Jelly Beans books tonight. All of these kids' books are great for the ages of 3 to 7, 4 to 8 or younger. They're beautifully illustrated books. And speaking of illustrations, over on that side of me is Kayla Olson-Surface, and she does a good chunk of our illustrations as well. All of those, all of those Helen Holder books, these are all Kayla's works. And Kayla, do you want to say hi?
Hello.
All right. The other person that we have on here is Brad. He is our Wizard of Oz guy. Basically, he runs the show because, well, if it weren't for him, we'd all be sitting here, just sitting here is about it. So the rules of the game. If you in the chat bar can type in a question for any one of us and about publishing or writing or the journey or illustrations or editing or whatever you can come up with, that enters you into a chance to earn a chance to win a book. Apparently my words are not working with me today. Never mind. All right, so Brad is on here and he's watching all of the questions. And so we will start off with JoAn. I don't think JoAn has ever really been on any of our live events, so we're going to pick on you. Great. And if you want to tell everyone about Late Side of Midnight or how you came up with it, or talk about your book or show your book or whatever, you're on.
Okay. This is my book. It's illustrated by Kim Hanzo. Beautiful illustrations that tell the story. It's about a boy who can't sleep. It rhymes.
Do you want to read? Do you want to read one or two of the stanzas?
Sure. Here, I'll do this one. Does it matter if it's just in the middle of the story?
No,
okay.
Just go for it.
Let's see. I opened the window to gaze at the night. The snow was so pretty in the soft moonlight. I heard an owl hoot, then another replied, perhaps they were planning a late night glide. And then this is one of my favorite pages because there's, whoops, let me find it. There's lots of animals in this boy's bedroom.
Oh, yeah. I will see if I
Um,
can't find it here. Well, let's see here.
And they're, I don't know, they're drinking tea and talking to him and all that cool stuff. So I've gotten some, yeah, thank you. Gotten some good feedback that parents love it, the kids love it. There's a little bit of a mystery. You can kind of interpret the book a couple different ways.
Mhm.
And I think that maybe the adults might interpret it different than the children.
Okay.
But
You know,
yeah, think like Wizard of Oz.
the
But
one thing I've heard a lot from people is how fun it is to have a little boy be the main character in a children's book. You know, you don't see that very often. And
yeah,
so I've heard that from a number of people.
yeah, there's no adults in the story, just the little boy and
Mhm.
the animals that were that he saw outside because he couldn't sleep. And yeah, the story just came to me. I started writing poetry probably, I don't know, 20 years ago. My mom got my family all involved in Lyrical Iowa,
Mhm.
and I kind of gravitated to children's poems, which became stories. And so I give my mom credit, and somehow my creative side just was channeled.
Okay, very cool. All right. We will pick on Ray next because she's got a book coming out here in less than 30 days. The countdown is on.
The countdown
Um,
is on.
do you want to tell us a little bit about your book and how it came to being, how it came up with
It
that?
all came together. Okay. All right. So Shadow Speak is a new adult dark fantasy. It's got some elements of paranormal, some horror, some occult in there. It's actually very, very loose mythology kind of inspired Norse mythology. I actually started writing it 5 years ago, and I put it down, didn't think about it, and then the main character Rune kind of started picking at me. Didn't know like what her name at the time or anything like that, but I kind of had this story unfolding, and I went back to some older writings I did my senior year of college, and then from there, first draft happened. 8 drafts later, it was kind of like I either have to do something with it or I have to officially ignore it and keep moving forward. So I did something about it, and yeah, it comes out in less than 30 days.
Well, very cool. Yeah, that comes out here February 23rd.
Yes.
And I've already put a whole order in for lots and lots of books. So actually, I will say all of our books too, if you go to foxpointepublishing.com, that's FOXPOINTE publishing.com, click on shop now. All of our books are available. All right, we have questions coming in. So the first one is from Sandy. How did Fox Pointe Publishing come to be? Well, I'll give you the short version. I talk a lot, imagine that. But okay, the short version is I've been writing for a long time. I have now 5 published books, but prior to Fox Pointe being official, I have 4 published books. And a lot of people are like, hey, can you help us out? And, you know, maybe you should do something like this or whatever. And I went to my daughter who did all of my designing and editing and said, you know, hey, let's just give it a whirl and see if this goes anywhere because we'll fill this this need for people out there, and we have found lots and lots of people, so it's good. But fabulous people, I will point out. They have a lot of patience for our little crazy train we've got going on over here. I think we all work pretty well. Anyway, but yeah, that's how it came to be. And we started putting out books for Carmen, and then we met Helen last March. And we met Ray online. I found her on Twitter, March, April, something like that. Kayla found us on Facebook last April, May. JoAn found me. How did you find me?
Through Corey.
Oh, through Corey, that's right. I'm like, oh, I just lost my mind there. Yeah, and you came on like last June or July, I think it was, that you started talking with us. And so far it just has gone, and we've been having a great time, and our books are beautiful only because we have really professional people who care about what they do. So I'm huge into quality control, and I'm a neurotic perfectionist, and that's how we run the show over here. But yeah, that's Fox Pointe and how it all came to being. Our next question is from Kayla's dad. I have all right, do we use one printing company to print the books? At the moment, yes, we are looking at expanding. I have a feeling that once the economy opens up and people can start going to bookstores and buying books and all that good fun stuff, our very small book orders may turn into very huge book orders really fast. Because like I said, these books are gorgeous. They are well put together. They already sell very well. And so when the rest of the world catches up, I think we are going to be busy, is a good way of putting it. Okay, and then we have one other from Allison. Are the books available via ebook? Yes, they are. If you go to foxpointepublishing.com, so FOXPOINTE publishing.com, and on any one of the books on the home page, click on that book. It'll take you to the book information page if it's already published, and you'll see the link for all the different EPUBs. We've got Scribed and 24 Symbols and Nook and Apple Books and Kindle. There are like probably 12 or 15 different kinds of books. Plus, they're also available through Overdrive, Hoopla, Bibliotech, and there's another one that libraries use. So libraries can also get the book to rent out to their library patrons as well. So yeah, we are definitely on EPUBs. Oops, there goes my phone. Okay, so the next one up, Kayla, do you want to tell everyone how you got into illustrating and what your goals and aspirations are and all that good fun stuff?
Well, I've always been drawing, so there's that. You know, and in high school, when everybody's thinking about what they want to do for a living, I was kind of feeling a little discouraged, I guess, because the only thing I was passionate about was art, and I had no idea that it could be a career. So I was watching The Incredibles animated movie with my family, and I found out, hey, I can actually draw for a job and make something cool. So I started looking into that, and then I went to college and got my bachelor degree in video game design and development, and because that was art related. And I've just always been drawing, and I was scrolling through Facebook one night and I saw Kiersten's little thing asking about illustrators, and I was like, hey, why not? You know, and so I reached out to her, and here we are. And I've illustrated a lot of books so far since I've started, so we're doing pretty good.
We're doing pretty good. And actually, wasn't it your grandpa that told you that you couldn't find anything good on Facebook or something?
Yeah, my grandpa's not a fan of Facebook, and my dad knows this, and I sat him down. I was like, you won't believe it.
Guess what?
Hilarious. Yeah. So.
All right, so for everyone out there, if you're just joining us, the rules to the game here is if you would like to read or earn a chance to win one of our books, you have to ask us a question, because that's the only way that we know that you exist and are watching. Otherwise, we can't see. So, Late Side of Midnight is by JoAn Stevenson, and about a little boy who dreams, has trouble getting to sleep, and little forest creatures come and visit him at night. It's beautifully illustrated. And it just came out a few weeks ago, and JoAn is living the rock star life in the little town that she lives in right now, because everyone knows her. And I've told her now she can't drive like a heathen. She's going to have to mind her manners and stop at all the red lights, and can't run stop signs because she's a rock star in her little town. All right, the next one up is Terrific Tongues. This just came out actually about a month ago. This is from Helen Holder, who is also on the screen here. This is the 6th one that she put out in 2020, and we're going to have her talk about some of her books too. All of these books giving away tonight are good for that 3 to 7, 4 to 8 range, even earlier. Sleepover with Grandma is another Helen Holder book. This one is very well not only illustrated but designed. These are some of Kayla's illustrations. Kayla does, matter of fact, all 3 of them that we're giving away of Helen Holder's are all designed, or excuse me, illustrated by Kayla. The next one is Glorious Gertie's Fabulous Fireworks. That's also being given away. And so the best way to earn one of these books is to ask a question, and then we'll know who you are. And then I'm giving one of my books away. It's called Jelly Beans. And it's a illustrated poem about 35 jelly beans who realize that although they are different sizes and shapes and colors and flavors, they are all essentially the same in the big candy dish of life. So there you go. All right, let me see if there's more. Helen, do you want to start talking about your books?
Well, I certainly can. The last one, The Terrific Tongues, was kind of fun because it was really just, essentially it was just what the tongues were, was when it started. But then they said, well, you could put some more, get some facts in there. So I've been on the internet looking about all kinds of animals. What kind of tongues do animals have, and how are they different from any other animals? So I think I'm kind of an expert now.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, if you ever go to a party, you'll have all the trivia one could possibly want to know about tongues.
If you stick out your tongue at me, I can tell you a whole lot about it.
Exactly. And what about some of your other books that you do there?
Well, the first one, and the one that was David's Pretzels, which is an alphabet book with pretzel letters. And that's kind of an encouragement to just read the dictionary for words that tickle your fancy. And that was kind of fun that one of my friends, after having read David's Pretzels, then they were in the dentist's office and she was reading a book to entertain him while his brothers were getting finished. And she started to read, and then he says, does this book have a glossary? Because that wasn't a new concept for him. So that was kind of fun to find out, okay, somebody got something out of this there. They could know what a glossary is now, and they think all the books should have one. And then I have a Dragon Princess Knight story, and kind of a fairy tale that's turned around a little from what you expect. And I painted a magenta flamingo as another one with lots of facts thrown in there, where you wouldn't, by the time you get done reading it, you'll know a lot about colors and about flamingos that you might not have expected that you would know just from the silly story. And Glorious Gertie's Fabulous Fireworks is just for fun. That was just started from the name of some store I saw as we were driving to the south. So then a sleepover with Grandma, one of my grandchildren actually said she was going to take me on a sleepover with her. And so I made up a different grandma. I'm not anything like that grandma.
Oh, okay. You set the bar pretty high for any grandmas that ever get invited over to sleepovers, that's for sure.
Well, I thought that was pretty fun that had one family who was, I think they bought about 5 copies to take to all their grandmothers at Christmas time.
Yeah.
So one of the grandmas was at church last Sunday and she said, "Oh, you're the person that wrote that book. I got it for Christmas."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Yep, that's me."
And all of those books for Helen, of the 6 books, she illustrated David's Pretzels. I don't have that right now with me to show you, but if you look on our website, foxpointepublishing.com, oh, well, yeah, she's got a copy.
That's always backwards because I don't know how to make them go frontwards.
Oh, no, it's fine. David's Pretzels, she not only wrote, but she also illustrated. And then Samantha Hinton illustrated, I painted a magenta flamingo. Yep, that's Samantha.
Oh yeah,
Hinton.
those are really beautiful pictures.
They are. They're stunning, that's for sure. And then the last 4 books, Sleepover with Grandma, Gertie, Terrific Tongues, and An Unusual Tale, Kayla did the illustrations for. And I know that Helen is working on some future books, and then Kayla will be on track to do those as well. All right, we have another question from Stephanie. She asks, do you listen to music when writing? And if so, what kind of music? And I'm going to put that out for all of us here, including Kayla, for when she's doing illustration. Kayla, do you want to take the question? Do you listen to any music? And if so, what kind?
Absolutely. I struggle drawing if I don't have music on, and I listen to just about everything. Just depends on my mood. Right now, I don't know if you've seen it, but I'm listening to the soundtrack of The Little Prince. So I think that's been inspiring as I'm drawing the best magic of all for Paula right now. So.
Okay. Yeah, and that's the Troll book that's coming out in March. JoAn, do you listen to any music while you write?
I don't think it's a important component to me. If I do have Pandora on, it would be something, you know, from Bob Dylan or Alison Krauss, or you know, something actually like opera music. I like what's the Italian blind
The tenor.
can't think of his name.
I don't know.
But yeah,
I know who you mean, but I don't remember his name either.
Is it what, Pavarotti? But he's not blind.
No.
Andre Berselli.
Okay. I don't know.
But yeah, I almost need it quiet, I think. Otherwise I get distracted easily no matter what I'm doing. So in order to focus, I probably would have it quiet.
Okay.
That's
Helen?
just me.
Helen, what about you? Do you listen to music?
No, I pretty much just, well, my husband likes to have the radio on all the time, so I'm pretty much, so I can write. I just don't pay any attention to whatever's in the background.
Okay. And Ray, how about you?
I actually used to write a lot with music, and then I got too distracted by it. So it kind of depends. Like if I'm having a moment where I'm trying to create a scene and it's not working, I do sometimes like listen to music or just take like a mini break. For Shadow Speak, one of the songs that I listened to a lot for one of the scenes was actually Here With Me by Marshmello. And it was kind of funny because my sisters had been listening to it. And I was sitting there like writing this one scene, and I kind of stopped because I just couldn't figure out kind of like how I wanted it to go. And the song lyrics came into my head, and I was kind of like, what the heck is the song? Like, where have I heard this song? So I like bugged my sisters. I'm like sending them snippets of the song, and they're like, can you hum it? And I'm like, And then I finally figured it out. So then I listened to it on repeat until I got the scene done.
Okay.
So it depends.
For me personally, I'm much like JoAn. I can get distracted really easily. So I don't listen to music when I write. But if I'm doing anything else, I usually am. And if I'm ever doing anything on the website, anything website or social media or whatever, the best station around Pandora, and the station is Gloria Rayner. I listen to 70s disco music. I mean, I just love it. I've been listening to that pretty much steady since the early 2000s. So that's my go-to whenever I'm on the website or doing social media. But
I can see that. I can
yeah.
see that.
yeah, it's great music to listen to. But otherwise, no, I wouldn't want to. Do you guys remember the movie Something's Gotta Give with Diane Keaton and Keanu Reeves and Jack Nicholson? Do you remember that?
Yes.
I love that movie, and she's
Yes.
the author Erica Berry. And I love the whole idea that she's sitting out in the Hamptons with the glass windows overlooking the ocean, and she's typing all of her playwright music and the music. And I know I've got the soundtrack, and you can put that into Pandora and all the French music and all that. And I think, oh, that would be
Cool.
me, and I could drink my tea, and I could. Well, I don't have an ocean to look at. I have a lovely backyard though. That I look out and I see deer and owls and otters and all sorts of fun things. And I could drink tea and have nice French music, and I could pretend I was Erica Berry. And instead I can't, because I would start singing the music and get sidetracked. And then I listen to disco. And so okay, one of these days when I get older and more mature, I will listen to fancy French music when I write. So there you go. All right, the next one up is from Cami. Is Kayla your sister, one of your sisters? Okay.
One of them.
Yeah, you've got what, 4 other sisters? You got 5 girls in your family?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Cami writes, Helen, some inspirations are a bit more obvious than others, but what inspired tongues versus another part of the body? So fun and unique.
But in my first grade class, for some reason, we were talking about how when cats lick you, they, it's really dry. And then this other kid said, yeah, and dogs slobber all over you. So, and then I just started thinking about, well, what other tongues are, butterflies have curly ones, and parrots have black ones, and mosquitoes have sharp ones.
Mm-hmm. Here's the cat one.
Yep, and then there's the dog.
There's the dog one. And actually, yeah, Helen used to teach first grade for 33 years. Her bio claims that she was in first grade 34 years, and then clarifies that, in fact, 33 of those years was as a teacher, which is probably good that you clarify that,
Yeah.
because that would be really bad. All right, and we have another question here. Sandy asks again, what do you do to market a book? Oh boy, that could be a whole live Facebook event in itself. We do social media because, hey, it's free advertising. Gathering, networking, basically, and you tell everyone on the planet. We've got for press releases, I put out newspaper, library, any other kind of book related kind of things, or education, TV, community, radio, in 100-mile radius of wherever that author is, get their local on board. And then from there, we can stem it out. We also have co-op advertising that we do with our authors for both regional and eventually national advertising. Networking is huge. Word of mouth. I'm just this close from wrapping my car with Fox Pointe Publishing. And then, of course, I'll have to drive politely, and I can't take the corners and run people over if I've got, my business attached to the car. We try to come up with as many ways possible, and then we also contact bookstores and libraries and gift shops and tourist traps and toy stores and wherever we can possibly put your book. That's how we do it. And it's not always an uphill battle, but a lot of times it's an uphill battle. But you know, we no is not an option around here. We do our best to get it done. Is about the best way. But that would be a whole Facebook Live event in itself. And I would imagine 85% of the people watching it probably fall asleep if I went into that whole diatribe of everything that I do. But it's a lot. Okay, so let's see. We've asked Helen and everyone. Okay, does anyone have anything that they want to say? Oh, well, I could tell about my books. Totally forgot about me. What else? And I don't have them all. Okay, the first book I ever wrote was in 2005. It's called I Do, 15 Years of Wedding Misadventures. I used to shoot professional wedding videography. I've done 1,403 weddings in my life. Let's say I've seen things, and it's in that book. So yeah, I Do is my first book. It's a humorous memoir. It's good that I wrote the book because I saw a lot of really fun things, and sure enough, I'm getting older, and now I'm starting to forget what I can't remember what I did 10 minutes ago, so let alone 15, 20 years ago. Let's see, what else? My second book is Corner Confessions. That is the first of 3 books. It's got 14 true confessions in there, but we call, I changed the names and we call it fiction, and then I can leave my house. But these are actually all people I know. Some of them are about me, but I'm not gonna tell you which ones. And the confessions run in spectrum from good, feel good, all the way to oh my gosh, and pretty much everything in between. The second book in this series is called The Lives We Live. There are 16 more confessions in that book. And then the book also reads as a novel, and all the background of how people are intertwined in what a really small world it is. It's a fun series. Then the third one, as I said, God willing, will be out in 2021, and it's got the last 20 confessions. So there's 50 total over the course of 3 books. Excuse me, my fourth book came to me. I wrote it in 45 minutes. I am not a poetic person. I'm just going to point that out. But Jelly Beans is that poem I was telling you about with 35 jelly beans. I wrote it in 45 minutes, and I'm like, oh, that was fun. So apparently once every 50 years, I get to write something poetic. We're going to have to wait for a while until the next poem rolls around. And then my 5th book came out this last September. It's called The Blue Frog. And that was actually a little creature my mom made up because in a house of 2 small children who, you know, things happen and no one ever knows who did it. And so naturally, it was the Blue Frog. So I really wrote that for my mom, but it is a cute book. All right, do you guys have any questions? Let me see if we have any. Oh, there it is. And matter of fact, Kayla did the people on the Blue Frog. So, and it's good that she can draw people because I know I can't. I can't draw much of anything really. All right, I don't have any questions right now. Do you guys have anything else that you want to say to anyone? Tell them a little bit about your next book coming out or anything like that? Okay, all right, good job. Well, all right, so Shadow Speak Ray down there, Raven, she's got Shadow Speak coming out the end of February. Helen is working on some sequels and maybe some different books as well. Now the pressure's on. Talk about setting the bar too high.
I know.
Yeah, she published 6 in 2020 and everyone's like, now what? And she's like, oh my God, I don't know. JoAn,
I'm gonna make 6 this year though.
JoAn's second book is probably going to be out here. I would think probably in a handful of months, probably, I don't know, June, July, maybe something like that. And she's thinking about going to the Hackensack, Minnesota Northwoods Arts Council Book Festival and Arts Fair, which will be mid-August. And so I'm sure you'll be there with at least 2 books. Kayla is, boy, you just have everything going on at your house.
Yep.
Yeah, she's working on the Troll book, and then my Scout book is the next one, right?
Yeah, Scout.
Okay, so yeah. Yep, she'll be illustrating my 6th book, and she's actually got 2 of my books this spring that she'll be illustrating. My 7th book is about a pet octopus I used to have because I'm just that weird. I had an octopus, and so you guys will be able to read about Ollie. And that is about it. I don't think we have any more. Nope, we don't. Okay, so out of the people, we had 5 people, Sandy, Russell, Allison, Stephanie, and Cammie. And so we will put this here. Let's see. Let's see. Does Cammie have any kids?
No.
No.
But I know she's interested in tongues.
Okay, Cammie apparently is going to get tongues. What's your dad interested in?
Maybe Gertie.
Gertie? Okay, Russell's getting Gertie. And let's see here. Stephanie, Allison, and Sandy, we've got Sleepover, Jelly Beans, and Late Side of Midnight. Put it this way, what you want to do is direct message me on Facebook with your mailing address. I'll get these books out to you tomorrow. And actually, I know that you can't direct mail or direct message me on Books by Fox Pointe Facebook group. So you can find me under Kiersten Hall Author and direct message me through there. And then I'll get these books out to you. And that is about it, I think. We will be back on February 9th, the second Tuesday of February 9th at 6 p.m. Central Standard with more people. And we'll give away more books. And so if you have more questions, there you go. That's the easy way to do it. And all of the books can be found again at foxpointepublishing.com. That's FOXPOINTE publishing.com. Everything's on this website. And just know that it was lovingly put together while listening to disco music. So anyway, all right. You guys have a fabulous night in Facebook world. And thank you so much for joining us. Have a good one. Bye.